Hi there, Gemini. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot. And let's just pull some random messages. You wanna? Let's see what the tarot has to say for you today. What's headed in? What's going on with my Geminis, please? Just some random messages. Anything you want to say? All right, Jim Jeru. What's going on with my Geminis? Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. I think that there's a possibility that you're looking at a situation with very, very overly controlling, micromanaging, kind of scrutinizing, overly scrutinizing a situation, right? And a lack of empathy, like, with the Empress in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, the Five of Cups in reverse, it's like this overwhelming lack of empathy, right? Like I'm already over it, but I haven't taken into consideration those around me or people around me or situations or things like that. It's just that I did what I had to do. Maybe I did what I had to do and I'm not sorry, or I'd say stumbling and bumbling, but not apologetically. Like, and then with the Seven of Pentacles here, it's like, it's just, fuck around and find out. Like, I'm just trying different things, and as nothing works, I just move on to the next one, right? I don't have time to apologize to everybody that I've hurt in this experimental stage. But at the same time, I'm blocking a lot of progression, like financially or tangibly or in the 3D realm. I'm blocking a lot of that because I think that a lot of the exercise is getting lost in the monotony of the exercise. If that makes any sense. It makes a great deal of sense to me, but I may not be, I don't know, explaining it correctly. If I am going about, it's again, I have the Queen of Pentacles too. It's like, and it's not something that I can do all by myself. It is something that I am relying on other people to help me through. But as it doesn't work out for them, or they get boo-boos or scrapes, you know, I'm just like, psh, on to the next. On to the next. Okay. Help me a little bit with the words. Please, Spirit, please, for my Geminis. No, I don't want to read you. Can I see some other people in this read, please? Can I see some other people in this reading, please, for my Geminis? Who are the people around my Gemini? And this kind of leads me to believe with the Two of Pentacles in reverse that, like, it's almost like all eyes are on you. Or they're like sitting around waiting for your punchline. But you're not telling any jokes. Or maybe they're all jokes. I don't know. But it seems like you have this plethora of ideas or paths to take, you know, and as you're going through trying to scamper and figure it out, their only focus is the time or energy or money that they're investing in you. Focused. So, like, at this time, I would say maybe communication would be possibly beneficial. The tarot cards aren't saying it, but I'm thinking that there's a possibility that a little bit more communication, right? I mean, since they don't have really anything they don't have anything else to do but to sit around and watch you or pay attention to you. or invest time or energy in you. Maybe a little bit of communication either way. A little more time spent in empathy and sympathy and understanding the exact needs of each individual that is there, or if it is just one individual. Give them a ride on the merry-go-round, right? Kind of put your reins. Well, nothing's working. I might as well just go take a nap, you know, and let them steer the boat for a little bit. Whichever way you want to work it. Can I have some messages, please, from Spirit to my Gemini? It almost looks like they're not readily able or available for what I just said. Like they would kind of refuse. No, you do it, right? Which might have you actually, that energy might actually compile with the current energies that you have, and doing this little thing of... I'm not really, I'd say not invested, but it's not being invested. It's the callousness of the whole ordeal that seems to be happening right now. Well, I really didn't want to wash the dishes anyway, so if I break a few, on to the next, you know. We've got these 3 right here. We'll eat off of those. But that was my mother's fine china. Well, you didn't want to wash them. I don't know what your current situation is actually per se, but the analogy, I think, explains the energies perfectly. But that Ace of Pentacles, right? That lack, loss, missing opportunities, something of that nature. I also want to go ahead and say we have one life to live. Although I know that's not true. I think it's the message that Spirit is trying to get across to you. We have one life to live. Might as well, like, handle everything like it matters. Or, no. No. There's the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, I'm getting some past energies, honestly. I'm getting a little bit of past energies about the dynamic of this situation, which would lead me to believe more or less that it has been surmounting kinds of energy, right? It's not something that you just woke up overnight and just started being this way towards this person. It is something that you're kind of maybe shaking off fleas or relieving from the pressures, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, it's a possibility that it doesn't really matter to you. You know, it was never in your design. It was never in your grand design. But I'd like to go ahead and exercise the fact that if it is in your energy field at that time, you do and should be a little bit cautious about how you deal with it, right? This may not be the best energy, like, you know, when push comes to shove, though. However, I do like to go ahead and put a little bit of this in there. But that's when my back's up against the wall and I'm pushed in a corner and I am left with no other workable options. Also, some of you might actually feel like this person has just wound you up, and now is watching you wreck shop like a bull in a china shop, right? Watching you get it off your chest. Because in no way could you explain. Let's see, there is some sort of clarity. Oh. All right, so I do see the smoke clearing, right, with the endeavor. So we have the Seven of Pentacles now that just came up, right? As you're kind of like trying this and trying that and trying this and trying that. And you're going through them kind of like I said, just kind of callously, like it doesn't really matter. Then all of a sudden, look, I don't even worry about what I'm wearing to the ball because I'm not going to the ball. Right? So, but then that process happens. Well, I've decided that I'm not going to get married because you know what? You're a bridezilla and I'm not dealing with this. So if I can't do anything to make you happy, how are the next 60 years of my life going to go? And the transition process does begin where that reality or the realization that, you know, this is going on and that I feel this way. So yes, missed opportunities, but there is a clearing, a clarity that happens with that transition, right? Maybe there is something bigger. Maybe there's something better. Maybe there's something more suited to you or them. Now, I'm not always going to say that when a separation happens, you're going to be the prize winner. Sometimes it's their victory. See the Hierophant. I do see some sort of, and in this reading, I'm going to go ahead and spill it as a lack of commitment or a botched agreement. So say that some of you are kind of being pushed to the edge and in ending of an arrangement, right? That's upcoming or coming. There's that Two of Pentacles in reverse again. It's like something that y'all are both overly focused on. So it may not be them all eyes on you, but all eyes, like, y'all are both focused, like overly, obsessively focused on one thing at this time. But I think your desire for the commitment or the arrangement is kind of subsiding. Like it's not as, and I'm not going to go as far as to say that. So maybe it's a little stressful. Situations like that, planning stages and life changes of that nature can be a little stressful and can cause some disagreements. And it is actually how you work through them. Maybe it's not the person at all that you are upset with. Maybe it's the situation, right? What else do I have for my Gemini? I do have some sort of new beginning now, be it with this person or be it with, you know, something else on the other side. Say you decide to go single. That new beginning, that childish, that freedom, that fun-loving play, right? Where I had all these responsibilities and I had all these arrangements and I had to step in line and get all this stuff tailored and get the band hired and blah, 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 and everything. And nothing was the right color and the blooms weren't going to be ready and my venue wasn't going to have the date available, right? Say all the stressors of it. Now it's just a little bit of playtime on the horizon. I do see frivolousness, new beginnings, right? Now, I'm not tacking y'all down to exactly what that means. It could mean something different for each and every one of you. The dynamics of the current relationship, how you're dealing with it. It could be job. Energies could be vice versa if you find yourself being the bridezilla, you know, or if you're giving extra weight to your partner in the planning stages of the situation. Maybe you might want to go over and check on them because they're going through some shit, you know. That in itself could repair or stop the bubble from bursting altogether. It all depends on how ready you are to perceive a lifelong partnership and situation as to, you know, how you're going to progress through it. If you are indeed not ready, it's going to make molehills look like mountains, you know. But it all depends on how you navigate these stressors. Now, some of you, like I said, the tarot cards are kind of saying that by just throwing your hands up in the air and just giving up on it all, there is that transitional phase, right? And the lack of commitment and the dissolution of the plans. A huge weight being lifted off your back. And the King of Pentacles, right? New beginnings. There's probably a little bit of more financial stability, actually, in this new beginning, this new start. There's a Two of Pentacles in the reverse again. So, okay, so that's the three times the Two of Pentacles has come out for them, for you, and for you in the future. This very, very focused kind of, I'm not getting overwhelmed. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm not doing that. That's a distraction. I'm not worried about that. No, I'm not going to Disneyland, you know. So I'm going to pull specifically for that Two of Pentacles in reverse. I do have the Four of Wands. There is some stability in that. Like I said, this focus, this stability, this financial ability, this newfound freedom, this taking off your bra at the end of a long, hard work day, you know. So the reading is going past situations or places where the two of you would work it out and come together. I am saying, though, depending on your level of maturity or readiness for, now also this being your person. You can be ready. You could be the person. And if this isn't your person, Spirit's going to move you closer to your person because you are showing readiness. I say your person, the new person, the next person. I do see the Nine of Pentacles, right? Focusing on what makes me happy, but I'm still not seeing something that I'm subconsciously holding on to from my past, right? So, like, in all intents and purposes, this thing makes me happy, but I have never gone inside myself and seen why that makes me happy, why that entertains me, why that turns me on, why that flips my willy. I've never gone into myself to understand why I have that, you know, on the tier of importance. There is, Gemini, I am seeing a huge amount of focus, stability, new beginnings, happiness, fun, emotional stability in walking away. I don't know what that means for most of you, and I'm just delivering the messages laid out by the tarot cards, but I am seeing a now, how's that happen, huh? Walking away, right? Removing yourself, and not only from the person or the situation, or not only the situation, maybe the person. Not only the person and the situation, but also the benefits. Because you've also got to understand that every stable situation, or any situation that you're in, comes with faults, flaws, and benefits, right? We count our blessings. That's why they say always count our blessings, because if we're focused on only the flaws and we make our decision based on the flaws only, sometimes we could lose or dissolve some current blessings in our life that were dependent on that being the pay scale, this being the reward. Do you understand? I always like to make people double check before they do shit like this. No. Actually, in all actuality, it seems to be like more of an instability, more of a mismatch. There's going to be a lot of missed opportunities if you do stay. Because I was just plying for you to stay, right? And then we lose that possible stability. I mean, okay, so Gemini, from what it looks like currently, there's a situation that you have been brought to the brink. You are towing the line, you're sitting on the edge, right? And you're handling it like a 3-year-old that can't find her favorite toy before bedtime. You know, just throwing stuff everywhere, just kind of spiritually, emotionally, just throwing stuff everywhere, watching and waiting for it to dissolve because I no longer invest. I can't invest into it any longer. The person, people, job situation, like I said, family situation, maybe I don't like badminton anymore, right? This is still walking away. The walking away does seem like your best option at this time via the cards. Is there anything else that I have for my Gemini, please? Any messages, random messages, closing messages, anything of that nature for my Gemini, please? Anything you want to say to Gemini before I close the video? Because I don't want to talk about it on my way to town. It'll be too late. I won't care anymore. Okay, so I have Temperance in reverse and I have the King of Cups. It does seem like, for the most part, the emotional instability, the impatience and stuff like that, the ticking time bomb that has been going on has only kind of fertilized your emotional sustainability soil. It has only, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. So Gemini, this is basically what you have been going through. It was maybe like a confidence builder, a confidence booster, right? Where I do prioritize myself more than I had before. So if that is your blessing off of the tail end of whatever the situation is, do, chalk it up as a win. I do have the Queen of Swords. Some of you might be a little bit prone to look at it negatively. Like if you're talking about it with your mother later on down the road or your friends, you might want to bash or smash or something this situation or this person. I don't necessarily like to. It's not my favorite thing because I know the way that energies work and the universe works, and that's not necessarily, it's not necessarily their fault, just like it's not necessarily your fault. So I know you'd love to be able, some of you would love to be able to justify the situation by making the situation out to be worse than what it is. And I think that there's a possibility that that's not exactly, I do see the Sun. I do see watch your mouth. Because with the Sun in reverse, you'd be kind of thwarting. And remember how the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords was kind of in reverse at the beginning of the reading? I do see this repeating kind of cycle of energy, this little tornado of energy cycling around where, what you say out of your mouth probably holds a little bit more manifestation weight at this time for you specifically, right? Where you kind of need to watch your thoughts and watch your words because they become your destiny kind of thing. And I know that is for everybody, but specifically that's the message that the tarot cards and spirit are laying out for you at this time. So do understand that if you do have an overly negative view over the situation and you are perpetuating that negativity, it could put a damper on, right? Like bringing a dirty mop or a dirty broom or an old broom into a new house. You don't want to be bringing that over. You want to clean cut as quickly or as well as possible. and that way you don't get any dirt on yourself, kind of thing. Does that make any sense? I do see also like this failure to launch, right? Now, these are all just warnings. You know, not everybody's going to fall into that trap, but do pay attention because there are traps set. The Fool in reverse has this idea that maybe even after I do leap, I leap right into the same situation because I didn't actually make the leap properly, or I brought that old mop and that old broom into the new establishment, right? By bringing those old energies, words, thought patterns, and stuff like that, or looking at the situation in a negative light instead of being like, it just literally weren't for me. I mean, like, you know, they probably had something better to do. Right? Now, I don't want to be talking about, she left her dirty socks on the kitchen cabinet, she never cleaned the toilet, you know, like blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be talking about all that. I don't want to bring it. In fact, you know what? Just like decline to bring it up. What happened? Well, honestly, I really don't think I was ready. Why don't you try taking some accountability or placing some blame on yourself, right? And I'm not saying that's always the end-all be-all, but I'm just saying sometimes it really does kind of work, especially when the warning has been not to bring those old energies, thought processes, and patterns into the new place or the new energy field, because I could recreate the same situation and be in it again because I didn't actually learn anything, right? Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you, Gemini. It was a pleasure reading for you. If you did enjoy the read, please like, comment, subscribe. Do hit the bell if you want to be informed next time I upload. And I'll see you again real soon at Eyes to See Tarot.